All right. This topic is about architecture, design, decision making. What it is? This topic is related about architecture, design, decision making. So, what is design here? Design in the sense, just it's a blueprint for the chosen product. It's a blueprint for the chosen product. Whatever the product we have decided to implement, that for that project, if we are get readying a one blueprint for that project. Okay, that is called a design here. So while designing this architecture, while designing this architecture, so what are the decisions we need to take? If it is not a good decisions, what happens? If we will take okay good decisions, what kind of results we get while while working on a some software product? Clear? So this is about the concept of architecture, design, decision making. So we do not view a software architecture as a set of components and connectors. Almost in normal cases, what we thought about a software architecture? Software architecture is a set of components and connectors. It is about some set of components and connector. Total overall architecture of a software is called a collection of components and a connector. Okay, that is a general view. Apart from this, here we have it is a set of architectural design decisions. So architecture is not a, it is a collection of components and connectors, that is in one view like front view. If we will go and we will study in detail, so it is a set of architectural design decisions. It is a set of architectural design decisions, which means how we are going to implement that requirements of a some customer or stakeholder. So like that, we are going to take the some design decisions, how it is look like, and what are the things we need to include in this particular design. Okay, this design is acceptable by all of the stakeholders or not? Is there any need? Is there any changes? Okay, needed by a this particular software product or not? So like that, if the design is good enough, so we should impress anybody. Okay, that may be a management I mean organization people, or that may be a stakeholders, anybody. Okay, while designing one project, one concept, if we'll impress them, okay, it give some good reputation to the organization, as well as a designer, which means architect, who designed for this who designed some designing technique for that particular product. So this is the talent of one architect. If we'll give a good design, and without missing anything, and also it is like a impressive one. So if we'll develop by taking such kind of designs, then that product will, okay, will be in market long for long years, isn't it? So for that sake, we are going to design a project, okay, based on some decisions. Who will make these decisions in real time? Who has the right to make such kind of decisions? In the sense, mainly architect. So this roles or this responsibilities is taken by a architect. Why? Because almost for the total project, he is the responsible for the, okay, designing, almost designing, total designing is in his hands. So that's why he, So based on the main rights to design decisions are within the hands of a architect. So already he knows that. So what are the actually outside what are the designs are I mean what are the software projects are available in market. So which kind of I mean problems faced by some softwares, and that is based on his experience. Okay, or he may study that existing products of a market. So based on that, so he should design everything. If I'll go with design one, which kind of what benefits and problems I may get. If I'll choose for design two, so what kind of problems and benefits I'll get. Like that, for each and everything, he should study in real time itself. Or otherwise, he may take the experience of previous designs itself. Okay, maybe he may be worked on different products, different works before itself. So that's why by using the total overall experiences, okay, he should predict the current existing project. So that is the case here. So that's why, so the total designing authority is under the hands of a architect. If he is a I mean experienced one and a capable one, then the customer will get good good outcome of the product. Otherwise, it's not that much what level whatever they were expected on this project, isn't it? So that is about the architect and about a design decisions. Clear? I'm coming to the third point. In software architecture design, architectural decisions are design decisions that addresses architecturally significant requirements. So here in software architecture design, whatever the design we are going to okay perform on a architecture, those architectural decisions are called design decisions. Generally, we have some ideas while designing an architecture of a project. So, those decisions are called the design decisions. Why we are going for the design decisions? To address the some architecturally significant requirements. To address the requirements of a architecture. And coming to the next point, an architecture design decision making is a description of the set of architectural additions, okay, subtractions and modifications. Why we are learning this one? Because it's a description of a set of architectural additions. The design decisions will add something new to your architecture. That is a decision. If something is missed in some part of your architecture, then we are going to add at that place, isn't it? So adding and even subtraction means any unnecessary module or any unnecessary some function has been included into the project. Okay, so at that time we are ready to remove or subtract that one, the particular function of that module. So that is the subtraction. And also modification. Not only the addition and subtraction, is there any other things to do? And if you want to change the module name, or if you want to change the function name, or any kind of modification, or if you want to remove or replacing, so one function to other module, so like that any kind of changes we may perform on some architecture design. After finishing of one kind of design, then we are making the changes on that particular architecture design. So what is the need of changing? What is the need of changing or changing this design, which means only for just I mean to improve the quality, to improve the quality, some cost factor, some cutting of cost. So like that, so here we are having many different advantages. This is also one kind of evaluation, but this evaluation is performed on only design itself, not a overall architecture. Here at this concept we are performing the evaluation of a design. So in previous concept we have studied the total architecture evaluation in the sense it is from gathering of requirements to, okay, gathering of requirements from step 1 to at the n number of steps, which means up to the deployment stage. Up to the deployment stage, each and every stage we need to evaluate, okay, to get good results or to get good outcome from our project. But in this concept we are studying about the evaluation on only design, not the overall architecture. This is about only design. So in the design, after completion of a first design model, so then once again we are performing the evaluation on that particular design. So which results, which give, which means so whatever the additions we need to do, what are the subtractions we need to perform, and is there any other modifications on that project design. Okay, if you want to what place the module 1 at the place of module 4, and module 4 is replaced to at place of module 1. So like that, each and everything for small point also we are going to take care after seeing the design. Okay, how many I mean if a particular design is okay reached the system requirements or not, is there any, okay, false, some small kind of errors we find, what is the I mean changes we need to perform there. So like that, each and everything we are taking care in design decision making. So this is, and so why this one, the rationale and the design rules, design constraints and additional requirements that realize one or more requirements on a given architecture. Say description of set of architectural additions, subtractions and modifications to the software architecture to get quality and to get design rules, and we need to follow whatever the design rules we have, and some constraints on the design whatever we have, okay, and also additional requirements on that design. So to meet all these, then we are going for decision making. Clear? And coming to the next point, software architecture is the set of design decisions. What it is? It is a set of design decisions which, if made incorrectly, may cause your project to be cancelled. What it is? If you were made the design decisions are incorrectly, so our project may be cancelled if the design is not satisfied by a stakeholders, then automatically it leads to a cancellation of a project, isn't it? So it should be a clear one, and also a, okay, qualitative one, and also a I mean it will be worked according to the requirements, it will fulfill all the requirements of a customer. Why we are going for this design? This design is a problem solving process. Problem solving process whose objective is to find a way or to describe a way for a given problem. So because of that we are going for a design. So if these design decisions need to satisfy the all the aspects of the system requirements, all the aspects of the system requirements, if anywhere, because if some lack of such kind of requirements, okay, then if we didn't fill all the requirements which is needed by a customer, so automatically it leads to, okay, cancellation of that particular project, isn't it? So if suppose the design decisions, evaporation of design decisions information leads to a number of problems associated with the software architecture. If the design decisions are not up to the mark, if the design decisions are not up to the mark, then we may face many problems, okay, in software architectures. Now we are going to discuss the problems. What are the problems we may face if the design decisions are not good enough? Coming to the first one, design decisions are cross-cutting and intertwined, which means whatever the design decisions, okay, what are the designs we performed on a architecture, somewhere else we need to, okay, cut some extra, which means we need to remove or avoid some extra unnecessary things on that particular design. And also sometimes there is a need of okay, combining the design decisions, okay, some decisions is adapted to not only single module, for number of modules at that time. So we need to add some same rules and regulations for the other modules too. So like that we need to uh, perform a design. If you will miss or if will what neglecting these means, we are not getting a good design, okay, good design from a architect. So this is about the first point. Okay, what it is actually, it will be some decisions need to take, so I mean unnecessary things are need to remove, and some necessary things somewhere some else we need to combine the decisions whatever we perform on that particular, okay, project. So if we don't perform this, it is a one kind of, it will give one kind of problem to our design, isn't it? So like that. Second one is, coming to the second one, design rules and constraints are violated. So while designing, while doing on working on that project, we have some rules. We need to follow some rules and regulations, and some so such kind of some what limitations, constraints, limitations we have while developing or while designing something. So if those are violated, if those are, okay, missed, so we may face some kind of problems. Okay, for example, if we are designing one product, okay, which is related to a some plug box. We are designing one plug box. If the design of a plug box, okay, into that each and every pin is related, have some standard measurements. So that plug box, each and every pinpoint has some measurements, the distance between 2 points or something like that. Okay, by based on that rules and regulations only, we should made our plug box. Otherwise, if we change, okay, if we'll perform minor changes on that, then it is not suitable to all kinds of plugs, isn't it? If we'll purchase one plug box, additional plug box to our home, so that plug box should support all kinds of, okay, what some charger, some for chargers, some other lighting connections, okay, or some other what washing machine plugs, or some what grinder plugs, like that different I mean purposes we are going to use plug boxes. Okay, so that I mean extra for extra fittings, so that plug box has some standard, okay, distance or size of I mean holes within that. Okay, then only that plug box is suited to our home. So every, okay, pin we can every I mean charger or something, anything we can connect to that plug box. If that is deviated a little bit, is it possible to insert our charger into that? It's impossible. So while designing that, if your product is, okay, if our designing product is, okay, accepted by multiple number of people, or it is used by multiple number of customers, then you should follow, okay, some rules and regulations while designing that plug box. If that is deviated a little bit, your product, your designed product, is only, okay, applicable for whatever the gadget you have designed, that's it. It is not suited for worldwide, or I mean overall many people requirements, many people requirements. Clear? And coming to the third point, so in second point, whatever we are going to design, so that that should must and should follow some rules and some conditions, okay, of that project. Okay, or otherwise some I mean some organizations rules and regulations. If we neglect those things, then we may face some problems in that particular design. And coming to the third point, obsolete design decisions are not removed, which means, so these are the older versions of if suppose, first of all, whenever architecture is designed, at that time we are designed, that design is accordingly exactly to the requirements of a stakeholder. Okay, somewhere somehow, okay, if we are making some changes on that design, so it may be leads to new design, or it may be leads to missing out the overall requirements of a total requirements of a stakeholder. Okay, which means, okay, if which means if we are designing, or if we are stitching a dress on some based on some requirements of a, okay, requirements of a customer. Okay, while putting some changes on the dress, while making some changes on that particular dress, okay, it may leads to shape out, or it may leads to some heaviness of the dress, or, okay, it may leads to some overfitting or underfitting, like that. Okay, somehow, this such kind of problems or such kind of things would happen on making changes, continuous changes on that particular product, isn't it? So first of all, we should remember why this project is designed and how much we need to, okay, apply changes on the design. It may sometimes it may lead to, okay, change of the overall requirements of a product. If we are doing changes on that particular product, each and every time we are modifying after number of modifications, the product may completely, it will lost its originality. Okay, it may last its overall requirements originality, and it may leads to some other design or some other thing. So first of all, while doing changes or while making some decisions on particular design, first of all we should remember the, okay, what are the main goal of this project. Okay, without changing of that goal, I mean without deviating that goal, how to perform changes or how to perform other changes on a project. That is about the third point. Obsolete in the sense older design decisions are not removed. What are the design decisions, okay, performed based on our requirements, that suppose that should not be deviated a much. Clear? And coming to the next one, guarding the conceptual integrity. So this is also related to absolute design decisions itself. Why? Because so sometimes the conceptual I mean whatever the design is, for which purpose we are make some design. So the design is showing the overall, okay, it will showing the concept, I mean concept integrity or not. We need to protect that one. We need to protect, we need to some apply some what security techniques to the concept. Okay, so some big somewhere else it is breaking the concept unawarely. The concept is breaked by making some decisions on a product. Clear? So we need to protect that concept. So for which purpose we are, mean designing, we are performing the designing. So that purpose, okay, the overall concept integrity should be maintained on that project. Clear? So coming to the next one, explicit design space exploration. Explicit design space exploration. It is from, okay, so whatever the designs we performed, those are preventing from obvious mistakes. Whatever the mistakes we done in frequently or something, okay, unexpected mistakes. So the design is, okay, beware of that particular changes or mistakes which is done by a architect or some other persons involved into that design. Clear? Next one is analysis. Analysis also is important while designing this one. Why? Because if we are frequently analyzing that one, so we'll get, okay, whether it is related to a requirements of the customer or not. and all our I mean regular rule, we are following rules and regulations of that particular design or not, whether it is deviated from its original requirements or not. Like that, we should perform some analysis on that particular design. Okay, if we missed this analysis part also, so it may leads to some problems on that design. Coming to the last one, improved traceability. So traceability in the sense, each and every time whenever we are going to check that one, okay, check the design, tracing of design, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, like that. So that should be also, okay, that is in our hands itself, or otherwise architect hands itself. If we not traced the steps or working of that steps, okay, it may leads to some problems, whether we are going a proper way or not while doing something, okay, while doing some design or some work, okay, whether it is going in smooth manner or not, where we are now, so what is the next step, what is the previous step. So like that we should take care, and we should take care about our project. Then it will be the good design technique. Otherwise, if we are not tracing that one, okay, it may give some problems. So this is about the problems whichever we faced if the design decisions are, okay, deviated. Clear? And coming to next slide, that next slide has the requirements needs to be satisfied. So what are the requirements needs to satisfy a customer or to satisfy a design? Those are, the first one is, it is a first class architectural design decisions are required. What is the first one? While designing a architecture, then we are in need of first class architectural decisions. Okay, so these are used to describe a software architecture and a set of design decisions. Okay, so whatever the design decisions, whatever the design we made for an architecture or for an project, okay, that should give the first class results, isn't it? Okay, already you know the word, what is the first class, in the what it means. So it would give the first class results to a overall project. Clear? So coming to the second step, explicit architectural changes. So explicit architectural changes, if we want to perform any architectural changes, okay, that should be give, okay, it should be made or form as a bridge between the first class architectural entities and also architectural design decisions. Okay, so these changes are we need to perform on a project. So by providing some kind of changes on a product, it may improve our okay, quality of a architecture, quality of a architecture, and also it will give some well defined relationship between the, okay, components or modules or some design decisions. This is about explicit architectural changes. Clear? And next one, support for modification, subtraction and addition. Okay, starting of this topic, we have discussed about the modification, subtraction and addition. So whenever we need to add something to our design or to our project design, then the design should support such kind of changes too. So when we will go for changes, okay, after assessing the overall design, okay, if that overall design is capable enough, I mean the total design is okay, has capability to give first class results, then no need of performing any kind of additions, subtractions, and modifications on that particular design. If not, okay, if not, if it has some kinds of small faults in that particular design, okay, it will give only 99% results. If we want 100% results, then okay, we need to apply some improvement, I mean decisions or some modifications on that particular project. Okay, so whenever we are going to perform some modifications on that, it should ready to accept that one. Not only at the designing stage, okay, after completion of that project itself, if we want to apply any kind of modifications, if we want to perform any updations on that particular project, it will allow us to okay, update that some software or some whatever we are going to do updations, perform on a particular project, it will accept us. Okay, then only we will improve our performance of the software product. Clear? And coming to the last one, it is a clear and bilateral relationship. Clear and bilateral relationship, which means whatever the steps we are okay included into the design, that each and everything should be cleared. And also okay, whatever the requirements which is okay needed by a customer, it should accept that requirements of a customer, as well as okay, it will give and it will support the working environment too. Working environment, so whatever the design we performed, the design is okay suited to a working environment or organization, and by following the rules and regulations of a customer and constraints of a customer. So it will, our design will give this kind of relationship. It's a clear and bilateral relationship among whoever involved developing of this project. Okay, this is about the things, whatever the requirements we need to perform on a design. Okay, or developing of a some particular product. Clear? This is about the architectural design decisions. In this architectural design decisions, we have seen about the definition of the design and what are the decisions we need to take on the on this particular design, and who has the main authority okay to take these decisions on that design. After that, if the design decisions are deviated or vaporized, so what kind of problems we may face on this software architecture design. So this is about that one. And coming to the last point, these are apart from that some designs. So what we need to add some additional points to our design. This is about today's class, that is design decisions. Clear? Anybody has doubts on this?